Dylan Fox won a race earlier in the week. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna go back up there and get my driver's meeting. You too, and I'll just poke you and I'll on here let you know the redraw during the B mains and stuff like that. Okay. Thank you, sir.
What's up, everybody? Hello and welcome to the World of Thunder's second annual super late model Speed Week race, round 5. The dirt track at Charlotte here tonight. None of you probably know who I am. They called in the B team here tonight. I am your host, AJ Job. You might know me from EU TV if you watch any of the dirty old bastards broadcasts. But if not, it doesn't matter. Steven is out tonight dealing with some personal issues. Thoughts and prayers going out to him. So they called me and said, hey, do you mind coming over and screwing this broadcast up? And I said, I can screw up anything at any time. You just give me the word. So I'm here. We're doing late models tonight. Not normally my forte on iRacing. I have driven late models in real life. I guess I got that going for me. I do have the wonderful Ultimate Dirt TV logos and overlays here tonight. So it is going to look normal at least, as long as I don't screw it up. I'm not familiar with the buttons. It could be a total you-know-what show, but by God, we're going to do it. And we'll have fun with it. And everybody can laugh at me or anything else. It'll be fine. Appreciate everybody joining us on the Ultimate Dirt TV Facebook page. We are also live on twitch.tv/elbowsuptv, my channel. So we're live everywhere. And we are hitting qualifying now. We're riding along with Chris Malone right now in the 29. Chris was 4th quickest in hot laps here tonight. See what he's got on lap number 1. A 15.777 puts him 2nd quick right now. 2 minutes left in qualifications. Dustin Hall goes P1 with a 15.692. Now J.D. Brown with quick time, 1.5.672. We're watching everybody come in. This was the guy fastest in practice. That's a name that I'm familiar with, Mr. Blake Majulis here. Looks like he had a little bit of contact with the wall on lap number 1 in that Swindell Speed Lab machine, so that was invalidated. Let's see what he's got on lap 2. That is a 15.638, good enough for 2nd. Bailey Cardwell, who is off track now, coming in with quick time. Looks like Dylan Fox out there on the speedway. You didn't know, we are hanging out at the virtual dirt track at Charlotte tonight. Austin J. Yarborough heading out on the track, taking P1 away from Mr. Cardwell. Still a few guys left to qualify. Time starting to run out. 52 seconds left to go. This is Dylan Fox that we're watching here. He's got a good time. 15.683 puts him 7th place right now. Kendall Tucker also out on the speedway. Another Swindell Speed Lab machine. Lap number 1 invalidated for Kendall Tucker. He's going to give it another go here. Jordan Casey in the 42 coming in at a 15.572. That's 3rd quick. Everybody using that low line right now. 2nd lap for Tucker, 15.559. 2nd quick for Kendall Tucker. And qualifying, ending now. A couple of guys not getting qualifying laps in. Looks like Daniel Passmore is out there. I believe he's an admin. That might be why he doesn't have a time. So it's Austin J. Yarborough. Quick time here tonight as we move into the heat races. Everybody hanging out in the Facebook chat. Zardul's hanging out in my Twitch chat. How's it going, Zardul? He's racing here tonight as well. A lot of names I'm not familiar with. I imagine, if you're familiar with my broadcast, I imagine I'm going to butcher some of these names with pronunciation. That's fine. I welcome anyone correct me in the chat. I think on night one I called Majulus Marjulus. Good at certain things. All right. So we are lining up here for heat race number 1. Remember, top 2 in the heat race enter the redraw. I do want to check real quick. Top 3 will transfer. Top 3 transfer, top 2 to the redraw. Let's talk about the starting lineup. No invert here, so quick qualifier on the pole. Austin J. Yarborough. Inside row number 1 in the 17 with Jordan Casey to his outside. J.D. Brown and Zach McSwain make up row number 2. Ben Countermarsh and Chris K. McGuire, row number 3. Brett Rolls and Terrell Payne, row number 4. And rounding out your field is Gary Peck. 10 laps the distance here. In heat race number 1, looks like we have 3 heat races here tonight. Top 3 advance, top 2 go to the rear draw. And off of turn number 4, Mr. Yarborough's going to give him green. Great start for Austin, gets a good jump there. Jordan Casey able to hold off the third place driver of J.D. Brown. Brown on the high side has Zach McSwain behind him. Ooh, a little sideways goes the 12 of Ben Countermarsh. He gets it straightened out, no problems there. Now, starting to see a race for the lead. Jordan Casey catching the rear of the 17. Yarborough has some company. J.D. Brown rolling the cushion up top. These drivers trying to sort it out. Figure out what is the preferred line. We saw everybody on the bottom in qualifying, but you can see that 42 is running really good there on the top. Now J.D. Brown working the middle. Found a little bit of moisture there, but look at this. Jordan Casey, an issue on the front stretch. He goes to the infield. J.D. Brown now clear of the 42. He's going to go to the top side and start to work on Austin J. Yarborough. Zach McSwain, winner the last round at Lima Land. Currently sitting in third. He's in that transfer spot. That's where he wants to be. He'd like to get in the top 2 to give him a shot at the redraw. Race for the lead now. J.D. Brown on the high side, Yarborough on the inside. Side by side down into turn 3 they go. Those cars dead even down the backstretch. Now Brown going to go to the inside there. Let's see if he uses the slider. He does. A little bit of squeeze there on Yarborough. Yarborough has to get out of it to make sure that those 2 cars don't collide. That's going to cost him some time. J.D. Brown now, your race leader. As the laps start to wind down. Like this nice wide angle. You can see Zach McSwain starting to catch up to the rear of Yarborough. Could be a race for those redraw spots here momentarily. 4th place belongs to Chris McGuire. He's the odd man out right now, looking at the B main here tonight. White flag gonna fly for J.D. Brown. Here he comes. Out front, looking really good. No danger from behind. Austin Yarborough has some danger, however. Zach McSwain with a run off of turn 2. He's going to protect the inside. McSwain around the middle. Can he get around the 17 down to the line? Not going to happen. J.D. Brown, your race winner. Austin J. Yarborough takes the 2nd spot. And the final transfer will go to Zach McSwain in the 27. Yeah, Braden, I'm moonlighting here. Wrong Facebook channel, at least. Hanging out with the Ultimate Dirt guys. Heat race number 2, getting ready to hit the track now. Heat race to kick off the night. Nothing dirty about that slider that was used to take away the top spot. Ideal slide job. Puts your car in front of theirs and they got a lift. Worked out just fine. Of course, it doesn't always work out that way on this simulation. They don't always lift. And then they say, well, you shouldn't have parked it in front of me. So good to see those guys playing nice. A lot of respect shown. So we are rolling here for heat race number 2, the second of 3 heat races here tonight on the pole in the 00 Swindell Speed Lab machine. It is Kendall Tucker. And to his outside in the 33, Evan Say. Dylan Fox and Spencer Swafford make up row number 2 with Adam Lichty. See, I'm already doing it. Already getting that pronunciation. And Justin Sick in row number 3. J. Darren Literal with William Duvall the second, row number 4. And rounding out your field is Justin Tibbs. 10 laps the distance. Top 2 enter the redraw. Third place will gain an automatic transfer into tonight's A main. Everybody else to the soup. Yeah, we can see some slick lines developing there. There's still a lot of moisture out there. You just got to go out and find it. Kendall Tucker's going to be looking for it as he gives them green here. Ooh, a little bit of an issue there on the start. Looked like Justin Sick had to make a maneuver to ensure that he didn't have some problems there. Dylan Fox having no such problems. He's starting to make some moves to the bottom of the racetrack, was able to get up to second, but now look, 3 wide down into turn number 1. That's the 33 of Evan Say. And to the inside, trying to get a look at that number, the 018 of Adam Lichty. Spencer Swafford working the high side. He was one of those guys on the start. Had to do a little evasive maneuvers. He has recovered, starting to put some work in on that top 4. He needs 2 spots to find his way into tonight's feature. Evan Say started outside front row, and he is going backwards right now, having a bit of struggle right now. Only 3 advance here. Dylan Fox holding down that final redraw spot. You want to get up there and win the heat race, that's nice, but if you're in the redraw, you have just as much chance as anybody else out of the 6 that get in the redraw spots to give yourself a good starting position in tonight's feature. So at that point, you start thinking, well, maybe I really don't want to do anything crazy and risk my transfer position. You put a wild slide job in there, maybe the guy makes contact with you, and all of a sudden, your good race turns into a bad one. Adam Lichty in the 018, holding down 3rd spot right now. Spencer Swafford on the high side, wants to get around to earn that final transfer spot. Ooh, they're going to squeeze down the backstretch. Lichty slid up the racetrack. Spencer Swafford tried to make his car as skinny as possible to get between him and the outside retaining wall. He was able to do it right now. He has 3rd spot. Kendall Tucker, your race leader, has Dylan Fox running him down, but he's only got 4 more corners to take victory here in heat race number 2. We're going to have to keep an eye on the battle for the final transfer spot because Swafford on the outside is battling it out with Lichty. Now he's going to go to the bottom of the track to protect that position. Looks like he's got it under control. Kendall Tucker's going to win. Dylan Fox 2nd. And 3rd place is going to go to Spencer Swafford, who did a great job recovering from that start issue that he saw out there. One car coming up the racetrack, he had to put in the evasive maneuvers to make sure they didn't make contact. It sent him all the way back to 6th spot, and he was able to climb his way back to 3rd. which is no easy feat when you're talking about the kind of quality that's out there on this racetrack. Starting to roll here for heat race number 3. Bailey Cardwell is the driver on the pole in the number 1. Outside of him in the 127, Blake Majulis. Dustin Hall and Dylan Wilson make up row number 2, with Chris Malone and Kevin McNatt row 3. And rounding out your field, it is the 99 of Nate Mullenix and the 77 of Blake Brown. A lot of fast drivers here in this race. Keep an eye on Blake Brown there. Starting at the rear, I'm sure he's going to be making his way forward. But Cardwell and Majulis have business to do at the front of this field. They have those redraw spots. Dustin Hall sitting in third. Going to be looking to protect that final transfer. Cardwell going to give him green off of turn 4. Here we go. Ten laps the distance. Majulis into the fence there through 1 and 2. Cost him a little bit of time to the race leader. He's going to protect that line there as Dylan Wilson tries to work the inside. Wilson has made his way around Hall to take that final transfer. All of these drivers working the outside of the track now. Majulis and Wilson to the bottom there through 3 and 4. They like it at the moment, but everybody on the top here in 1 and 2. Cardwell unable to get away from those guys right now. Chris Malone has made his way into the 4th spot. Ooh, problems for Majulis. Into the outside retaining wall. He's going to lose 2 spots there. Back to 5th goes Blake Majulis. Blake Brown has made his way around. Now he's in 4th. And Chris Malone has earned a transfer spot. Dylan Wilson currently in 2nd. He has the redraw spot. Bailey Cardwell starting to gap 2nd place there. He just put a lap out there that was 2/10 quicker than Majulis' lap. Four laps left in this race. Cardwell on the outside. Dylan Wilson trying to run him down. And Chris Malone. Ooh, another problem for Majulis. He turns it around and actually is going to exit the sim there. Not a great race for Blake. Not going to be happy with himself at all. From 2nd spot on the grid. Now looking at it, making his way through the alphabet soup. And we got ourselves a race here. Cardwell looking at the white flag. And Chris Malone is looking at the 77 of Blake Brown in his rearview mirror. Blake wants that final transfer spot into tonight's A main. He's utilizing the top through 1 and 2. We'll see Malone protecting the bottom there. Brown doing everything he can, but it's not going to be enough. 4th place for Blake Brown. Bailey Cardwell is going to win heat race number 3. Dylan Wilson finishing 2nd in the 80. And Chris Malone bringing home your final transfer spot in the 29. Getting ready for the C main here. 7 drivers going to transfer through. I got a poke there that gives me the results of the redraw. I'm showing the 999 on pole, 00 outside pole. Row number 2, the 07D and the 14 to the outside. And row number 3 will be the 17 with the 80 on the outside. So the redraw has happened. We know what our first 3 rows are going to look like in tonight's feature. This is the C main. We're going to do 12 laps, and the top 7 will transfer on to the B. Out front in the 0, it is Chris McGuire. And outside front row will be the 77 of Blake Brown. Justin Sick and Ben Countermarsh, row number 2. Kevin McNatt and William Duvall, the second, row number 3. And rounding out your field will be Dustin Hall and Justin Tibbs. Chris McGuire on the inside, going to give him green this time by. Here we go. Great start for Chris. He's going to put a big gap there on Blake Brown. Brown goes to the high side trying to get some momentum to put a run on that 0. He makes contact with the 17 down the backstretch. Justin Sick on the inside. Was door to door with Blake Brown. Those two trading a little paint. No harm, no foul. Blake Brown now taking control of second place. Locking in on that 0 car, and we have a caution. We can back it up, see here. Actually. Car blinking. I thought for a moment there that Terrell Payne might be involved. There you see it, the 127 making contact with the 32 of William Duvall, and that is a pretty wild ride for the late model driver there. William Duvall out of this race. So 4 laps down. Right now, your lineup is Chris McGuire out front. Blake Brown in second. Justin Sick inside row number 2. That is Kevin McNatt. These guys lined up, ready for the restart. Back to green here, working lap 6. This is B main number 1. So these guys will not transfer to a B main. This will transfer them to the feature. Blake Brown on the outside, still doing battle with Justin Sick. This time, no contact down the backstretch. These boys going to play nice. Sick in third. Kevin McNatt in the 4, doing battle with Ben Countermarsh. Right now, it is Dustin Hall in 6th. And holding the final transfer spot is the 51 of Terrell Payne. Payne started this race in the pits. That caution was timely for him because he was able to catch up to the field there. And Now, in 6th, he's looking at a transfer to the A main. Justin Tibbs right there looking to recover from that contact he had on the backstretch with William Duvall. Chris McGuire still out front. You can see him rolling that cushion really nicely right now. He's got a decent lead there on Blake Brown. Justin Sick in 3rd. He's trying to hold the bottom there as Ben Countermarsh tries to make his way around. Laps winding down here in B main number 1. See, top 6 all spread out nicely. Justin Tibbs in his charge to make this race has encountered some more problems. You see the damage on the right front. White flag is out. Chris McGuire looking to take victory here in B main number 1. He is going to do it off of turn number 4. Winner, Chris K. McGuire. Blake Brown 2nd, Justin Sick 3rd, Ben Countermarsh 4th, Kevin McNatt, Terrell Payne, and Dustin Hall will take the final transfer position and make his way into tonight's A main. William Duvall in the Twitch chat saying there's a few things he'd like to say, but he's holding his tongue. Listen, if there's not a few hurt feelings at the end of these races, did you even race, you know? This is iRacing, man. We're like, goodness gracious. I've not seen a race that didn't hurt somebody's feelings in a long time. All right, rolling here in B main number 2. Once again, 12 laps the distance, top 7 will advance to the A. Starting lineup, we got a couple of cars here that did not make the call. So unless those guys are going to start from pit lane, everybody's going to transfer here. We are looking at the 018 of Adam Lichty on the pole with Gary Peck to his outside. Nate Mullenix inside row 2 with Evan Say on the outside in the 33. And rounding out your field will be the 24 of Brett Rolls and the 42 of Jordan Casey. Casey was very quick in his heat race, but ended up making contact with the outside fence. Not sure if that damaged the car and he parked it in the infield, or he shot it to the infield and decided he was going to go ahead and shut her down. But expect to see that 42 coming forward. Majulis, Literal, and Mays all missing the call here for the B main. So we have a total of 6 cars, 7 transfers. So one of those guys is actually going to earn a spot in the feature. We'll see if they make it to the feature. Adam Lichty gives them green here off of turn number 4. Gary Peck able to hold on to 2nd. On the outside, you can see the 99 of Mullenix trying to make a charge on the inside, but they're 3 wide down the back. Jordan Casey, the meat and the sandwich there, with Evan Say on the outside. Great move by Jordan Casey. He's got a little bit of crumple there on the rear spoiler, but he made it stick straight through the middle, and now sitting in 3rd, he sets his sights on the 88 of Peck. Ooh, near problems there for Evan Say, who's going to get that car straightened back out, but not before Brett Rawls comes through. Keep an eye on Casey, who's going to dive to the inside of the 88. No quarter given right now. Casey on the bottom. Peck on the outside. Those 2 cars dead even down the back. Casey now pulling ahead. Every one of these spots, very important. That's one driver he will not have to pass when it comes to tonight's A main. You want to start as high as possible in the running order. Some really good drivers in this field. And the fewer that you have to deal with, the better your chance is of making a run at that podium and a race win. Jordan Casey brushing the wall there. The dirt track at Charlotte, notorious for getting bumpy and rough on the outside. As the track continues to wear, we will see these guys have to battle that cushion. It can be very quick if you've got a setup that can handle it. Sure, it's a little easier for the late model guys than it is for the sprint car guys that I'm used to. But at the same time, you have got to have your car on point if you want to make those outside moves here at Charlotte. Laps winding down. We're going to have 3 to go as these guys cross the line. We've got a race for the lead. Jordan Casey utilizing that high line. Adam Lichty's going to slide up and try to protect it, but it ends up giving Casey a look. Casey sliding into turn 3. He's got the lead, but Lichty going to try to fight back off of 4. Give him control of the race lead from last here in the second B main. Jordan Casey has made his way to the front and now is controlling this race. Everybody going to transfer here from this race. The 7th place car will end up being Blake Majulis. White flag out. Here we go. Down the backstretch, Jordan Casey has control. No mistakes, and he's going to take victory here in B main number 2. Adam Lichty going to come home in 2nd. Gary Peck 3rd. Evan Say 4th. Nate Mullenix 5th. And Brett Rawls going to round out.
Hey, wake up.
The drivers that transfer on to the feature. Got a 3-minute warm-up here. As we get set for what will be a 40-lap feature. Now realize, we're not going to race for all 40 of those. First 5 laps, they're going to set the top 3 rows. They had that redraw. iRacing unable to program that in to where you can set your own lineups. So when the green flag waves, those guys will make their position changes after a 4-wide salute to the fans. So we will get ready to race on what will be lap 6, I do believe. Evan Say in the 33 right now with the quickest time, but just as I say that, Jordan Casey takes the top spot in the warm-up. Bailey Cardwell, 3rd quick right now. See him rolling that cushion. Everybody trying out different lines. Making sure that they know what their car is going to do when they need to make a move. Dylan Fox has worked his way up to the 3rd quickest time in the warm-up. You can see a little bit of flipping going on down the backstretch. Seen a lot of upside-down late models here tonight, as far as I'm concerned. Dylan Wilson right now, quickest. That is a 15.899. The lap that he just put in to take the top spot in the warm-up. Zach McSwain, the most recent winner, currently 19th quick. Blake Brown, 7th quick at the moment. 30 seconds left before we get going in tonight's feature. We are getting ready to go racing here at the virtual dirt track at Charlotte. The World of Thunder, 2nd annual Super Late Model Speed Week, round 5 is about to commence. Everybody in chat, shout out who you think's going to take this one. Dylan Fox on the pole. Kendall Tucker outside row number 1. It is the 07D, trying to figure out which driver that is. That would be Bailey Cardwell inside row number 2. 14 of J.D. Brown will be on the outside of him. And then it is the 17 of Austin Yarborough and the 80 of Dylan Wilson. That will make up row number 3. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight. I know I'm not the usual man doing the Ultimate Dirt TV broadcasts. I'm not familiar with a lot of these drivers. I don't even know what I'm doing on this beautiful overlay that the Ultimate Dirt guys have. There's all kinds of buttons on there. I'm scared to touch them. I feel like I can mess them up pretty good. But we're going to have some fun watching 35 laps of super dirt late model action. Shout out for Cardwell in the chat. Starting inside row 2. We've seen a lot of them guys utilizing the bottom of the track. We're going to have to figure out if that is the quick way around at the moment. We're not sure. This track changing at a rapid pace. Right now, though, Dylan Fox is going to be the man that has the best seat in the house. Going to start on the pole for tonight. We are rolling around here. We will actually take the green on lap 6. You can see everybody lined up the way they're supposed to be. Fox and Tucker, Cardwell, and J.D. Brown. And here we go, the 4-wide salute. Thanking you, the fans, hanging out with us here on the Ultimate Dirt TV Facebook page and even on twitch.tv/elbowsuptv tonight. They may be a bunch of 1s and 0s out there, but they can put on a hell of a show. And they're going to give you one here momentarily, so they salute you with the 4-wide. Thank you for watching. And get ready, because they're going to give it their all. Doesn't matter if it's an online race. Pride is on the line. And when you're racing drivers of this quality, you want to be able to say at the end, I was the one who was best. A little bit of friendly rivalry, maybe even a little bit of unfriendly rivalry. Never hurt anybody. So we're getting lined up. We got a couple more pace laps to do here. Dylan Fox on the pole. Kendall Tucker to the outside. Bailey Cardwell, J.D. Brown. And then it's Austin Yarborough and Dylan Wilson. Your top 3 rows. Getting ready to go here at the virtual dirt track at Charlotte. We will go green next time by. Dylan Wilson, Zach McSwain, Spencer Swafford, Chris Malone, Chris McGuire, Jordan Casey, Blake Brown, Adam Lighty, Justin Sick, Gary Peck, Ben Countermarsh, Evan Say, Kevin McNatt, Nate Mullenix, Terrell Payne, Brett Rolls, and Dustin Hall. Your field behind the top 3 rows. Dylan Fox Gonna be tough to beat from the pole, but Kendall Tucker and the rest of these guys are gonna look to do it. Here we go. Green flag is out. Fox with a great jump. Bailey Cardwell to the inside, hugging those infield tires. Currently in second. He's been able to get around the 00. Now he's going to look to take the lead. Cardwell with the slide job on Dylan Fox. Fox the over-under. He's going to clear the 07 down the front stretch. Too wide all the way through this field. Cardwell now on the bottom. Looks like it's a pretty good line down there in 3 and 4. He slides up the track. Fox fighting back on the outside this time. Now another slider in contact! Contact for our race leaders! Dylan Fox in the fence, and now he's parked it on the backstretch. Caution is out on what is officially lap 3. Let's get a replay here. You can see Fox on the outside. He's on the cushion, in the fence just a little bit. That allows Cardwell to come up the track. The slider was in. I don't think Cardwell really realized that Fox was going to be there. Thought he was going to be clear. Let's look at it from Fox's perspective. I mean, he's seen him coming. You don't want to lift. It is what it is. Very unfortunate for Dylan Fox. And Dylan has parked it in the infield. That's going to be it for him. I do believe that Kendall Tucker was in the lead in this race when the caution flag actually flew. It took a little while for the caution to fly there. Boys, we're down the backstretch and into turn 3 before Fox came to a halt. So right now, your race leader, Kendall Tucker, Bailey Cardwell to the outside in second, Dylan Wilson, and Austin Yarborough, your top 4. We're going green this time by. Good start for Tucker. He's got control of this race. Cardwell going to hit the bottom. Trying to make a move. Look at Yarborough on the outside. They are 3 wide behind this battle for the lead. Wilson, Yarborough, and the 14 as well. Now look at the 25. That's McSwain working his way into this battle. We talked about him not having the greatest warm-up, but clearly that car is working pretty well right now. Really hellacious battle there for 5th. Right in there. Caution flag gonna wave. Let's back it up, see what happened. We got Brett Rolls around on the racetrack. He's gonna try to get that car turned around right in front of the leaders. Everybody getting it sorted out. I think he's gonna stay on the lead lap. See if we can get an instant replay here, find out what happened. You see him on the bottom of the track. He's gonna make contact with the 12. The 17 gonna turn him around. 51 and 99. In there. That's Molinix who got the worst of it there with him. But Brett Rolls all crossed up there. And he is going to be relegated to the rear of the field. Yeah, the track very complicated for these guys right now. See the slick lines. I gotta say though, you take a look there, maybe a lane off the cushion. There's still a lot of moisture right there. Now I'm a sprint car guy on the sim, so to me, I'm licking my chops at that. And it might not be as perfect for the late model as it would be for the sprint car, but there are options out there for these guys. Kendall Tucker, pretty good in a sprint car as well as the late model. See if he thinks the same thing I do. We're going to find out. Dylan Wilson now in second. See Brett Rolls climbing up the inside. sure if he got a wave around or what that was. But we should see the lights on the pace truck go out this time. So we are going back to green here. Going to be working lap 18 of 45. 40 lap feature. Caution flag laps do count. Of course, we took the first 5 laps to do the 4 wide salute and line up the redraw guys. Not quite to halfway yet. Here we go. Restart. Kendall Tucker. Not as great of a start this time. Bailey Cardwell up the inside. He's trying to take second place away from Dylan Wilson. Wilson boxed in there as Tucker protected that low line. See Tucker using the slider line and finding that little patch of moisture. Got off to turn 4 really well there. Wilson in the middle. Cardwell now going to try the top side. Yarborough in the 17 working the bottom. Look at that 42 coming in here. Jordan Casey. He started about 10th in this race. They're 3 wide there. He's not afraid to beat and bang to make his way forward. Now looking at a top 5 is Jordan Casey, but he's not satisfied with that. We got a race for the lead. Dylan Wilson now battling it out with Kendall Tucker. Tucker with that momentum on the outside, able to hold on. Cardwell in 3rd. 4th place belonging to J.D. Brown, but he has got Jordan Casey in the 42, working the bottom, trying to take that spot away. Don't look now. Blake Brown is coming forward in this race as well. He started right behind Casey, and he's going to try to insert himself into this battle. Still a lot of racing left. This track is going to change a lot as we continue on. Wilson still working Kendall Tucker. You can see Tucker working the outside. Let's get in the cockpit with Kendall Tucker. Listen. You can hear how much he's off the throttle through the corners. He can see Wilson on the inside. Caution flag going to wave. He can see Wilson on the inside, but still being patient is the 00 of Tucker, knowing that too much throttle is going to be a bad thing. Let's get a replay here. Ben Countermarsh, the one who had some issues, coming out of 4 here in 1 and 2. He's going to find that trouble. Working right up there. A little bit of contact with McGuire. That sends him up into the 018. Heavy, heavy damage to that 12 car of Ben Countermarsh. And he does pull it into the pits, ending his night. Not sure how much damage Lichty got. You can see the nose bent up pretty good. Might have avoided suspension damage. You never know how much you're going to get away with if somebody is prone on the racetrack in the sim. Every once in a while, you drive through them and they flip up like a top and it doesn't do anything to your car. But if you're a guy like me with terrible luck, normally you end up with a meatball. Kendall Tucker and Dylan Wilson, your top 2. Bailey Cardwell, J.D. Brown, Spencer Swafford, the top 5 right now. Blake Brown now in 6th. Jordan Casey ran into some problems there as well. We're going back green here. Not sure what happened to Jordan, but he is out of this race. We were watching him climb forward, and now out of contention. Everybody on the high side there. But Kendall Tucker saw a run coming from Wilson, and he went to the bottom to protect it. But will it hurt him? Wilson able to stay level there before they got into turn 1. Trying to fight back on the bottom, but he's got to be careful. He might open the door for Cardwell there in 3rd. Wilson's going to put the slider in. Kendall Tucker with the over-under down the front stretch. Tucker's going to get back around. Wilson, though, able to get a nice run off of turn 2. Little bit of contact. Dylan Wilson's going to take control of the race lead. Cardwell now trying to follow him through. He puts the slider on Tucker. Tucker once more fighting back. The 66 of Spencer Swafford. Oh, but Tucker and Cardwell making contact off of 2. Cardwell's upside down. Oh, my goodness. That car is toast. Bailey Cardwell, who had second place. Kendall Tucker, who was running third. Both of these drivers out of the race now. See if we can get a good view of it. See, Tucker fought back to the inside. Cardwell got a really good run there, tried to duck under, but you see Kendall Tucker was in the fence. Tucker was in the fence from the start of the corner, and it looked like when he finally came off of it, it shot him down the racetrack and into Cardwell's car. He come off that fence, shot him down, and those two were connected. When Tucker turned down the track, Cardwell went for a ride. Really unfortunate event there, because two of the fastest cars in this race are now out of it. I can tell you one guy who doesn't mind that. Dylan Wilson. He says, you boys go right ahead and flip all you want. Take out every quick car in this race. I'll just run off and leave all of you. Thank you very much. Chris McGuire talking about the one-lane racetracks out there. He's unhappy. Out of this race is McGuire. Dylan Wilson going to give him green here, working lap 35. 11 left right now. Wilson has Spencer Swafford right on his rear. He tries to protect. Swafford's in hard in turn 3. Finds a little bit of moisture there through the middle of the track, but he's unable to stay level with the 80. Behind them, it's the 14 of J.D. Brown and Evan Say, who's made his way into 4th. 5th place belongs to Blake Brown, but there's a gap between he and the 33 car. We are watching for the race for the lead right now. Dylan Wilson has it, and Spencer Swafford wants it. Laps winding down. He knows he's running out of time. This track has been beaten down quite heavily. These guys starting to search for some moisture. We saw how treacherous the cushion was. It bit Kendall Tucker. We were on board with Tucker, watching how much he was off the throttle to make that high side work. Nobody's even really trying it now. It's getting more and more dangerous. Spencer Swafford trying to find the outside line, trying to make it work, doing whatever he can to gain ground on the 80 of Dylan Wilson. Behind them, we've got a race for 3rd. J.D. Brown looking at a slider from Evan Say. He fights back to the inside. Blake Brown doing battle with Chris Malone for 5th. Going to try to stay at the front here and make sure nothing happens, because we are getting into the waning stages of this race. Dylan Wilson has driven a great race, battled it out with Kendall Tucker, took the race lead away fair and square, and since then has navigated the caution flags and this racetrack to near perfection. He's got a sizable advantage over second place Spencer Swafford, and he's only got 2 laps left to take victory here in the World of Thunder Super Late Model Speed Week Round 5. Say has worked his way around J.D. Brown for 3rd. White flag in the air. Dylan Wilson 4 more corners, and he's going to have a victory in the bag. Final lap for the driver of the 80 car. Goes to the inside of the track, coming off of turn 4. Dylan Wilson taking victory at the dirt track at Charlotte. Second place going to go to Spencer Swafford. And in third will be the driver of the 33, Evan Say. Say, most likely, easily, our hard charger. Do believe he started like 15th or 16th in this race. Fantastic drive from Evan Say. So Dylan Wilson, your race winner here in the World of Thunder Series. Let's see if I can find these guys and pull them in. To get some interviews here. All right.
User was moved to your channel.
I'm going to move everybody in since it seems like these guys probably are not mad at each other. So we'll get everybody in at once. Right now, Dylan Wilson pulled into the broadcast booth. Dylan, that was one heck of a race, my friend. You made your way to the front, got around Kendall Tucker fair and square. You were able to navigate the caution flags and what looked like a treacherous track. Talk to us about that race and how it feels to take victory here in round number 5.
Yeah, I wish iRacing would fix these tracks. Around the wall is no fun. I mean, we have a wide track, and yet we're having to be up on the wall to be fast. So it's really no fun, but, you know, we made the best of it for what we got. And I thought it was going to be a lot tougher coming from 6, but there was a big wreck early, and that got us past some really fast cars, and then Kendall's always fast. So we were able to battle with him, and I think him and Devin got caught up after, but ended up not being as exciting as I thought it was going to be, and unfortunately all the wrecks and stuff. I wish they'd toned down, and I wish we had a wider racing surface.
Well, it definitely, we all like to talk about the fact that iRacing has us going through whoops sections down the straightaways and everything else. We want to see a little more. But talk to me about what your mindset was. You made your way into those redraw spots. You talked about how you ended up with the absolute worst redraw of them all there in 6th. But you were able to get your way to the front. And talk to me about where your car was working best as well, because we saw the top side of the track was working out pretty well. Kendall Tucker had it rolling there through the middle of the race, but it seemed like it changed a lot through the race, and you really had to stay on top of it.
Yeah, if you can get the right rear quarter against the wall, it's really hard to beat. And when slick stripes start forming in the middle and the bottom of the track, so unfortunately we're all forced to that top groove, and it kind of creates for a crappy race because you have to throw crappy sliders, and it's so fast up there that you really have to send it into the top to be able to clear somebody, or, you know, be able to make up your mind on if you're going to pull back off the slider or not. So that's why you see a lot of wrecks at these tracks that end up being around the wall. But the redraw is what it is. The last race we started on the pole from the redraw. This race we started last, so you kind of just take it as you get it.
Well, I don't see you at the top, or at least in the top 25 in points here with the World of Thunder series, but you clearly got a lot of speed. This has got to give you some confidence going forward. Talk to us about your team. Give your shout-outs and congratulations, my friend, on an excellent win here at the virtual dirt track at Charlotte.
Yeah, I just got to give a shout-out to D1RT Racing and all the guys over there. Fox, he started on the pole and ended up getting junked. So we had a good showing. Probably would have been pretty close to the front, both of us, had he finished as well. So, yeah. Just thanks to those guys. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting. Stephen McMillan, I know he